This is my FZR 1000 from 1987, and in the last video I took it for its first MOT in 16 years. Sadly, it failed. It's not too bad though, just needs a few minor things. Front indicator, loose, not working. Rear indicator, not working. Front indicator, not working. Rear indicator, missing. Chain, likely to fail. Both front forks, very rusty and serious leak of fluid. Front brake sticking on. Other front brake sticking on. Rear brake light or rear lights dim, not working. Can't remember what the problem was with that one. And to top it off, the tyres, they're both 16 years old. Now, it didn't fail on the tyres because in the UK, tyre age doesn't come into the MOT. However, let's face it, the rubber's going to be all hard and weathered and not safe, so I'll be putting 2 new tyres on it as well. I am going to need to get the calipers off, get the wheels off, get the chain off, get the front forks off. So to do that, I can either hang this from the forklift, which probably isn't a very good option, or I could go shopping. In these 2 boxes, there is a headstock stand, no, well that's the rear one, a rear stand and a front stand. So I'm going to put this together and then we can get the bike up in the air. Ta-da! Where's the magnet gone? Sorry about that. Okay, so we have the front one and the back one. So let's get jacked up. Brilliant. Kind of sketchily tip the bike like that. Yeah, and then sorted. And then the front one, so this has got like a bit of a kind of like a thing. So that goes in a hole in the headstock, like so, and then sweet. Oh yeah, you can definitely see that's binding. Hopefully this light setup will be good enough for you guys to be able to, well, this is what it's going to be like for the winter, I think. I might be losing this space soon, so I need to get the FZR on the road and sell the Ducati. So hopefully the light will be okay for me to crack on and continue making the videos for you guys throughout the winter. First things first, I'm going to take the calipers off. Right, let's do that. Looks like a couple of 13 mils. You won't find a 13 mil on a Japanese bike, I've been told. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. So a 12 mil to get the calipers off of there, and possibly another 12 mil to release the brake hose. It hasn't been long since I did these, so they shouldn't be too stiff. I need to catch the brake fluid with something. And it's already dripping in my absence. Of course it is. Brake fluid is horrible. Wow, I did not make a mess with that, did I? AKA I made a mess. Okay, I've put my rubber glove on the brake hose to try and minimise the brake fluid on the floor. Hasn't really worked very well. I still managed to get a load of brake fluid on the floor. However, this will stop it from dripping anymore. So I'm going to get a little cable tie, clamp that around there, and then do the same to the other side, because then I've done the messy kind of like get brake fluid everywhere job. I'm sure there's a way of doing this without getting brake fluid everywhere, but I don't know what it is. So now the brake pipes are out the way. We can move the calipers out the way. There we go. I say there we go. Just gotta. Oh, I'm not wearing my microphone. I have to go find it. And try not to get brake fluid on it. should be relatively easy to remove from the disc. Oh no, now obviously brake fluid is leaking out of it like mad. Ugh. Where's my lump hammer? What did I do with it? Well, brake fluid is going everywhere. Let's just put that somewhere. And now I'm going to do the other side. On the left-hand side of the bike, there is also the speedo drive cable, which needs to come off. Now, hopefully, it will just unscrew quite easily. Didn't even need penetrant. There's like a square on there, and inside there, you'll have seen it. I showed you on the GPZ videos. In there, there's like a spinning cog mechanism thing that spins this square shaft and in turn makes the needle go. Now with the calipers detached, you can see that the wheel spins nice and freely, which is what it should do with the calipers attached, but it didn't. Next off, let's get the wheel off. To do that, I need to take the bolt out of the middle and the bolt out of here. Now on the other side, it doesn't actually have any bolts. There's no pinch bolt clamping the shaft to the fork. There's just the big bolt going through the middle of it. The speedo drive will come off with the wheel, hopefully. I've got a feeling this isn't going to come off very easily. Oh. Ah. My feeling is wrong. Okay. Happy days. Might help if I undid that pinch bolt, wouldn't it? That would make it even easier. What size do we think it is? Man, everything on this bike is 12mm. Oh, yeah, that's much easier. Poor Wally, eh? So, in theory, when I pull this out, the wheel will fall off. However, from experience of doing the GPZ, when I did that, a couple of bits fell out. And I wasn't really... I had to look back at the video in slow motion to figure out where they went and which orientation they went in. There is a bush in this side. I'm going to show you. Fine, I'll show you. So when I pull this shaft out, this bush in here will fall out. You see, it's the moving. On the other side, there's the speedo drive, which will fall out. Okay, I'm going to pull the bolt out. Pulling bolt out. Wow, that was easy. Oh, look. It's got grease on it, which means whoever put it on last made it easier for me to take it off. So thank you if you're watching. Almost certainly not. But if you are, you'll appreciate the thanks, won't you? Thank you. I'm really struggling not to get grease and brake fluid everywhere. Right. Wheel out of the way. Oh no. That was the sound of the speedo drive falling out because I forgot that it was in there. Next job for the front of the bike, I'm going to remove the mud guardings. Mud guardings, wheel fairing. What do you call it? It does have a name. Oh, doesn't sound very nice. So this part of the job is just a case of finding all the bolts and nuts and screws and stuff that hold it together and removing them. So you got to take that out that side, one out the other side, 4 on the top. Sadly, the right-hand side of the fairing was actually broken. I've taken the bolt out anyway, but so that's knackered. Oh, I see. It's one of those stupid I don't know why they exist kind of clips. I'll show you once I get it off, if I get it off. My weapon of choice was an adjustable spanner, yeah. And if you can see, not adjustable spanner, sorry, ratchet spanner, I've hit a bigger diameter of the front fork. Now, I can't put the screw back in to get the spanner off because it's a ratchet spanner. I'm just going to have to brute force it off. What, Wally? Now, I make mistakes like this so you guys don't have to. Right. So I was going to show you the clip that is holding that in. Can you see? Probably not. Let me take it off. There you go. It's one of those evil, rusty clips that just I wish didn't exist. Okie doke. 1 down, 3 to go. I'll let you know how I get on. For the other 3, I've changed my weapon of choice to a conventional ratchet. And while I'm doing this, I want to give a bit of a shout out to the Bucks Biker. Got a YouTube channel. Check him out. I've mentioned him before, but we're becoming quite good buddies. We talk to each other about various different issues we're having with our various different bikes. And in his last video, he suggested that I might be some sort of an electrical genius. I am not, just to clear that up. But it was nice of him to think of me to ask for help. And I think it did actually manage to help him. Well, I kind of verified what he was already thinking. But anyway, hi Bucks Biker. There we go. Right, front half's off. That one came out a lot easier than the other one, and I'm hoping the back 2 are going to be the same sort of story. It's like a big duck bill, doesn't it? Whack, whack. I should get the other half and then... Oh, yes, 1 second. Whack, 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 whack. Just had a great idea. I'm a quacker. Actually, no, it's a Yamaha, isn't it? But I'm a Ducati. No? Okay. Now the front forks are free to come out. Well, as in there's nothing else attached to them apart from brackets and stuff. So let's have a look. There's a pinch bolt here. There's 2 bolts here, which are all part of the switchgear assembly. And then further down, there's 2 more bolts there. And this is obviously on both sides. Now, I don't know if you can see, but yeah, these are very bad. So I'll just go around undoing all those pinch bolts, clamps, and everything that I can find. Hopefully, they'll all come out quite easily. Why do I say things like that? And then I can get the forks out. I might struggle. You saw that corrosion there. I might struggle to get them out because that corrosion might end up being a bit more of a problem than it appears to be, even though it appears to be a big problem. I'm just going to get on with it. I also want to give a little shout out to Ken from Ken's World Restorations. Hi, Ken. As you can see, I'm cracking on with my project. Now, Ken has fully restored an FZR 1000, just like this one. And he has gone for the original red, white, blue paint scheme. I'm very jealous of it. He's sent me some pictures, and oh boy, it looks brand new. Unfortunately, I don't think this will ever look brand new. The GPZ will, so watch out for that. I think this is just going to be a working, rolling, long-term project. I can't see myself getting rid of this anytime soon. But anyway, yeah, shout out Ken. Hi, Ken. He's a super nice guy as well. Super, super nice. We chat on the phone about random bike stuff. Yeah. So check out his channel, Ken's World Restorations, and yeah, give him a like and a subscribe because man deserves it. Oh, and obviously don't forget to subscribe and like to the Bucks Biker as well. Again, another super nice guy. Penetrate, penetrate. I should have done this yesterday, but then again, I didn't know I was going to be doing this today. This could be penetrant or penetrant, penetrant, penetrant. Ha! I barely lent on that to undo it. You're not trying to tell me these are actually going to come out, are you? What? No way it's coming out that easily. That's bonkers. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I genuinely wasn't expecting that. Okay, well, let's hope the second one's just that easy. Just as easy. Lay that on the floor. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me scream for help? Ah! This bike, I'll tell you what, is absolutely full of surprises. And the surprise here is that this is just coming apart like it should be. Right, I guess just pull the second fork out. I don't believe it. Well, shiver me timbers. That could have been a much harder job. Win, old forks out, replacement forks in. Did I tell you I bought replacement forks? Rather than paying stupid amounts of money and getting those re-chromed or remade or whatever needs to be done to them, I'll leave them to the side for now because... Let me clean my hands and I'll show you. Look what I found on the eBay. 2 original Genesis front forks, not leaking, good seals, £90. Yeah, so there is some very minor pitting to the chrome, but it doesn't appear to be in the area where the fork goes up and down. So, happy days, win. Assembly is reversal of removal, I guess. Let's just get them on. Kind of handy that it's got Genesis written on it. That means that goes on the outside, which is always a bonus, you know. It kind of suggests you've got the right part. I'm going to put the front wheel back on. If I ride it to the MOT station, they also do tyres, so they can put new tyres on it for me before doing the next, well, before doing the MOT. I'm leaving the mudguard off, mudguard, front fairing, wheel fairing, whatever you want to call it, because I want to clean up the clips and make sure they're all rust free, really, because they were a bit minging. Yes, not like that. Yeah, I think that's in. Right, do up main bolt. Yes, it definitely does have a torque setting. However, because I'm going to get new tyres, they're going to undo it anyway. So I've just done it tight, like a tiger. Next. Ah yes, brake calipers. Where did I put them? Here we have 2 new to me brake calipers. They're not mint, but they're working. So I'm going to take my pads out of my calipers because they were brand new. You saw me fit them in the last video, or the video before that, or the one before that. At some point, I did that. So I'm going to take them out of there, put them in here, pop them on the bike, and then hopefully they won't be binding to the disc, and that problem and MOT failure is sorted. So I'm going to crack on and do that. Assembly is reversal of removal. Couple of bolts, take the pads out, ba-ba-ba, bada bing, bada bong, done. It's that simple, isn't it? Okay, calipers back on and everything back together. Ready for one of my favorite pastimes, not bleeding the front brakes. So I need to go find my tube, attach it to the bleed nipple, and hopefully, because obviously I've got way too much air in the system at the minute from where I took it apart. So let's crack on and do that. So I'll probably just do that, and then what you'll see in about 30 seconds or so is hopefully working front brakes. What you won't see is for the next hour and a half to 2 hours is me faffing around with bleeding the front brakes, because if you remember correctly, if you've seen the last video, I had a bit of a mare with the bleeding process. I had to suck it through with my mouth in the end, but hopefully we won't have to do that this time. Let's see how it goes. Here is the bleed nipple on the caliper. Now, basically what you do, you squeeze the brake lever, undo that a quarter turn, air comes out, tighten it again, and then you can release the brake lever, and you repeat that process until hopefully all the air has come out. So I'm going to do that on this side, and then I'm going to do it on the other side, and hopefully we'll have a working good front brake. So I like to use a clear tube, pop it on the nipple, and then you can see the fluid coming up the tube, so you know when the air bubbles are out, because you can literally see them leave the liquid, fluid, whatever. I need to take the cap off the top of the brake cover that's up here, there, and put some more brake fluid in. So I'm going to take that off, put some more brake fluid in, and crack on with the bleeding. Always wear gloves. Brake fluid is not nice stuff. Rather than trying to awkwardly pour in 5-litre jug into the reservoir, use a paint pot lid. This is from a spray can, and then I can easily pour this into the top. Bubble, bubble, bubble. And I'm going to do this until no more bubbles come out. Squeeze the lever, undo the thing, do the thing back up, release the lever. It's a very, very tedious process, but that's how you do it. So I'm going to not spend like 20 minutes of your life showing you this for the whole process. I'll just do it and then hopefully report back to you in a minute and to say that that is all good. Right, it is now about half an hour later. I had a bit of a disaster. I got brake fluid everywhere, as I always do when I'm doing brakes or clutch or anything that involves liquid that you're not supposed to get all over the floor. Anyway, it's still kind of rubbing on the disc a little bit. However, the brakes are working, and I think it's just rubbing because they just need to bed in. They're brand new pads, but they're not new discs, and the discs do have a little bit of a lip on them. So I think maybe give it a few laps around the car park and it might actually bed itself in. So I'm gonna do that. That's my plan now. Ride it around the car park for a little bit. It's pitch black outside because it's 6 p.m. in the UK, and it gets dark at like 4:30 now. It's crazy. Don't get any daylight anymore. Well, there's a bit there when I wake up in the morning, but anyway, I'm muffling on. Muffling? I don't even know what the word is. Okay, right, that's my plan. Okay, I'm going to do that, and I'll let you know how it goes. Waffling on, that's it. I'm using this clip that I recorded of me with my head cut off to explain to you what happened next. Now, I'm not actually talking in this clip now, I am talking with a voiceover. I rode the bike around the car park a few times, and I could not get the brakes to behave how I felt they wanted or needed or should behave. They were binding and they were not braking very well, and I just wasn't happy with them. So what I've actually done since recording this video is I sat down with the original gold calipers on the bench, and I cleaned them out and I replaced all the seals with brand new seals, which is what I did with the rear caliper all those weeks ago. And I should have done it with the front ones at the same time, but I just didn't. I've done it now, and I've put the gold calipers back on the bike. They are not binding and they are braking well, and I am very happy with them.